everyone. There goes my voice again. Today I'm going to do the video about the dangers of black henna. This is a brochure that I had made up for parents at the daycare I worked at to warn them about the dangers. So I'm going to be referencing some stuff from that, as well as from the lupus book, which is a really excellent book that all patients should have. So like I had mentioned in my story, September 2nd, 2002, I got a black henna temporary tattoo. And you know, black henna, it became popular because unlike the brown or the red henna, it looked more like a real tattoo, and people liked that. You know, once I broke out in a rash on it, and I went on the internet to try and find out what was in it to see if there was anything I was allergic to, I found really startling information. I found out that black henna is not natural henna like the brown and the red is. You know, the brown and the red, it's made with all natural ingredients like from plants and stuff. But the black henna has a chemical in it called paraphenyldiamine, or PPD for short. And this chemical is usually found in hair dye. And so with hair dye though, it's in small concentrates, and you know, you don't leave hair dye on your hair for very long before you rinse it out. And you know, there are some people who are allergic to hair dye, which they're probably allergic to the PPD in the hair dye, and they'll get like sores on their heads and stuff. And so they have, you know, they could still dye their hair if they used an all natural dye. I don't think there's a whole lot of people that have reactions to hair dye, but more and more people were becoming allergic to PPD because of the black henna tattoos. Because with black henna, the PPD is a high concentrate, and when they draw it on your skin, you leave it on for a full hour, and during that hour it's going into your skin, and it can get into your bloodstream, and it can cause health problems down the road. It can cause kidney problems, liver problems. It can cause all kinds of problems. And you know, for some people they can get a really bad allergic reaction. They can get the rash, but they can also get permanent scarring in the shape of the tattoo. They can get photosensitivity. They could get swelling, anaphylactic shock, anything. And so that was pretty scary. And of course, at that time, no doctor really knew about it. The only doctor that I found that knew about black henna was the dermatologist that eventually managed to get rid of my hives. And he knew a lot about PPD and black henna. And we were lucky to find him through CBC's Marketplace, because they were doing a story on black henna, and I was on it along with another boy who had a bad reaction to the black henna. Only with his case, he didn't have the reaction right away with the tattoo. He got the black henna and everything was fine. And then a few years later he decided to dye his hair. And when he dyed his hair, his whole face swelled up. So again, like, you may not even have a reaction to the black henna right away. You might end up having a reaction somewhere down the road when you dye your hair, because you've become sensitized to the PPD. And then when you go and dye your hair, you might have a severe reaction. And so, I mean, it's very serious. And so I'm just going to read a little bit from this brochure. Henna is not meant to be black. Black henna is basically made with black hair dye. And like I said before, it contains a high concentration of paraphenyldiamine, PPD. And this can cause blistering, open sores, scarring, and lifelong health problems. Black hair dye is not meant to be put on your skin and left there for an hour. It can seriously injure people. It's a strong sensitizer, it's a transdermal toxin, and it's a potential carcinogen. And as I said before, real henna is never black. It's brown or red. And, you know, they even say that PPD is a strong sensitizer, you know, as is bee venom and poison ivy. And, you know, once you become sensitized to it, this allergy will never go away, and you can become cross-sensitized to many things. You could become allergic to hair dyes, sunblocks, cosmetics, even sometimes black clothing can cause an outbreak of itching and hives. Like I said, it travels the bloodstream and it causes damage. It's been associated with bladder cancer, asthma, and many other health problems. And yeah, it's very dangerous. And you know, most doctors aren't aware of black henna. So basically, like, if you start to get a reaction and you go to your doctor and they don't really know what you're talking about, just tell them that basically someone put hair dye on you, and they'll understand that. So 6 out of 10 people have some sort of reaction to black henna, and that's a pretty high amount of high number of people. And you know, this black henna fact here says that sources say putting black henna on your skin is equivalent to putting gasoline on a baby's face. So I mean, it's pretty serious. And basically, if you think you've had a reaction to it, you need to find a dermatologist that can do a European standard patch test. That's what they did on me, and sure enough, it came up with a PPD allergy. And like I said, some people might not get a reaction the first time, but might get it the next time they get black henna or when they dye their hair. And some people may never have any kind of rash reaction, but they might develop health problems in the future. And, you know, they would not be likely to link it to the tattoo, but it could very well be from the PPD traveling in the bloodstream. And, you know, here in Canada, they've banned the use of PPD in black henna. However, from what I've read and researched, my understanding is you can't get the black color without using hair dye, the paraffin-diamine. So, in all honesty, you know, if you see some place that's offering black henna, even if they say it doesn't contain PPD, I wouldn't believe them. Just don't take the risk. And some people who've had a reaction, they might see the outline of the tattoo in the sunlight for long periods of time into the future. And pregnant women, and especially young children, should not get black henna. The following effects of black henna have been reported, but they're rare. Vomiting, nausea, convulsions, chronic hives, muscle pain, swelling of the body, face, and eyes, chest pain, heart palpitations, lung problems, anaphylactic shocks in extreme cases, kidney and liver problems, sensitivity to sunlight, and sensitivity to many other things. And this brings me to the final thing that I came across in the lupus book, where they're talking about possible environmental triggers of lupus.